Meet Eric Ponte, the most feared bully in school. Even the teachers think he's hopeless. But behind that angry face hides a dark secret. We're in Stockholm, Sweden, during the 1950s. At first, Eric's family looks normal. But during dinner, when he accidentally drops his knife, his father slaps him hard. After the meal, the man whips him with a belt. Eric's mom says nothing. She just plays the piano louder to cover up the sound of the beating. No wonder Eric's full of anger. At school, he fights all the time. After yet another fight, he gets expelled. When he comes home, he sees his mom talking to a lawyer. The man quickly leaves, but hands Eric a business card, just in case. Eric's mom is gentle for once, but then she drops a bomb. He's being sent to boarding school today. At the new boarding school, Eric is greeted by a senior student named Otto Silverheim. He looks charming, tall, polite, even rides horses. Otto gives Eric a friendly tour and says, "Team spirit is everything here." Sounds good, right? Eric shares a room with Pierre, a quiet, smart guy who loves jazz and books. They click instantly. Pierre even offers to help Eric with math, but things turn weird fast. In the cafeteria, Eric notices there's a strict pecking order. Poor kids don't sit with rich kids. Freshmen don't sit with seniors. When Eric doesn't follow the unspoken rules, Otto politely asks him to move. But then his buddy Dolim hits Eric in the head with a knife handle for punishment. Turns out, the student council runs the school like a dictatorship. And Otto? He's the king. Even the teachers are a joke. One history teacher forces Eric to stand up in class and calls him a perfect Germanic specimen, while mocking another boy for being too southern. What a mess. Later, during lunch, Otto hears Eric talking about it. Big mistake. Otto makes him stand in the corner like a child. Eric refuses. So, of course, he gets punished again. Eric tries to stay out of trouble. He studies, hangs with Pierre, and joins the swim team. Turns out, he's actually pretty good. He even breaks a school record. But Pierre isn't thrilled. He warns Eric, "Don't stand out too much. The more you shine, the more they'll try to crush you." And yep, he's right. That night, Dolim barges into their room and demands Eric shine the senior's shoes. Eric just stares at him. Nope, and walks away. Pierre is shocked. "If you fight them, they'll kick you out," he says. But Eric won't back down. The next day, Dolim bumps into Eric on purpose and demands an apology. Eric refuses. So they challenge him to the ring, a brutal school tradition where freshmen get beaten by seniors and have to beg for mercy. Eric doesn't show up. So in the middle of the night, Otto's gang breaks into their room. They trash everything. Pierre's terrified. Despite all this, Eric keeps training. The coach tells him there's a big swimming competition coming and that if he wins, no one will dare mess with him again. But Otto isn't done yet. He calls a fake student council trial, charges Eric for his attitude, and punishes him with 2 weekends of hard labor, plus 8 weekends of house arrest. First job, dig a trench in the pouring rain. Second job, fill the trench back up. Brutal. At least one person's kind, a cafeteria worker named Marja. She sneaks Eric food and tells him, "You don't deserve this." Then she flirts a little and invites him to meet her later at the secret smoking spot. And let's just say she doesn't want to talk about homework. It's time for cloister night, the worst night of the year for freshmen. The seniors go full psycho. But Eric's ready. He and Pierre barricade their door and stay up, waiting. Doesn't work. Otto and his gang smash the door open and dump buckets of sewage all over the floor in their beds. Eric's furious, so what does he do? He collects the sewage. Later that night, while Otto's asleep, Eric sneaks into the senior dorms and dumps the bucket right on his face. Next day at lunch, Eric sniffs around and says, "What's that smell?" Then walks straight up to Otto. Boom, insult delivered. Otto snaps. He beats Eric in front of everyone. Eric can't fight back. His hands are tied. He's about to pass out. But Marja runs in and yells at Otto. Right on cue, the headmaster arrives. Otto stops. A few days later, it's finally time for the swimming championship. And guess what? Eric dominates. He wins race after race, breaks records, and becomes the school's new champ. Christmas Eve comes. Eric goes home with a trophy and amazing grades. His mom is proud. His dad still just cares about the bad conduct marks. Eric tries to explain he didn't want to be anyone's servant, but his dad doesn't listen. Back at school, things get worse. Marja suddenly avoids him. Otto stops bothering Eric, but now starts picking on Pierre instead. Eric knows what's happening. They're using Pierre to get to him. So Eric quits swimming, hoping to take the heat off his friend. Marja coldly tells Eric not to visit her again. Meanwhile, Otto's gang doesn't stop. One night, they drag Eric outside, where Pierre is waiting, completely naked. Don Lind holds a lit cigarette to Pierre's chest, threatening to burn him. Eric can't take it. He steps in and says, "Burn me instead." Without hesitation, Don Lind presses the cigarette into Eric's chest. The pain is unbearable, but Eric doesn't make a sound. Pierre is forced to fight the next day in the ring. Eric tries to stop him, but Pierre refuses. He wants to stand up for himself. At the fight, Pierre starts strong, landing a punch on Otto's face. But Otto goes berserk and beats Pierre senseless. Still, Pierre refuses to beg for mercy. Eric watches, silently crying. Back in their room, he promises Pierre he'll end Otto's bullying once and for all. Eric is ordered to do another punishment task, hammering 4 wooden posts into the ground. But as night falls, he realizes the truth. The posts are for him. Otto's gang ties Eric up with ropes and dumps buckets of hot and cold water on him. They leave him alone in the freezing night, nearly unconscious. Luckily, Marja finds him just in time. She brings him to her room and takes care of his injuries. Later, back in his dorm, Eric finds a heartbreaking letter from Pierre. Pierre has decided to leave school. He calls Eric his only friend and begs him not to be angry. Eric is crushed. He's alone. And he's done staying quiet. After Pierre leaves, the biology teacher blames Eric for not doing anything. That hits Eric hard. He can't stay silent anymore. So, he challenges 2 of Otto's Geisdalen and another Thugto, a fight. They think it'll be an easy win. But Eric is calm, deadly calm. He promises to destroy them. But when the match starts, he doesn't fight. He simply walks away. Instead, Eric goes to the kitchen and asks for Marja. But she's gone fired 3 days ago. Later, mail arrives. Otto's goon grabs Eric's letter. It's from Marja. She says not to worry about pregnancy, she's always been careful, and she ends with, "I love you." The same day, Eric is called to the principal's office. He's being expelled. Eric asks for Marja's letter back. The principal refuses. He tells Eric to forget her. But Eric has one more card to play. Eric decides it's time to teach Otto one final lesson. He finds him alone in the woods, casually walking his horse like a Disney prince. But the vibe changes real quick when Eric shows up and tells him to drop to his knees. Otto panics to bribe him with money. But Eric's not here for cash. He calmly starts describing, in creepy detail, how he could end Otto right here, take his fancy ring, bash in his teeth, and no one would ever find out. Otto completely loses it. He's crying, shaking, probably rethinking every life choice. And Eric? He just turns around and walks off like a boss, leaving Otto in a puddle of his own fear. Eric remembers the lawyer's business card. He calls him. The next day, the lawyer arrives at school. Eric walks into a teacher's meeting with backup. He tells the principal that withholding Marja's letter is illegal. Swedish law protects a citizen's right to personal correspondence. The principal doesn't budge. Then the lawyer steps forward. He says he's already spoken to a reporter. And that reporter is very interested in Eric's story. Suddenly, the teachers panic. The headmaster realizes he's cornered. He agrees to cooperate. Time passes. Eric graduates top grades. Great future. But back home, his father still criticizes him. Still obsessed with conduct marks. Still cold. But this time, Eric fights back. He calmly says, "In 30 minutes, you'll be in the hospital with broken arms and legs. You'll say you fell down the stairs. And if you call the police, I'll tell them everything you've done to us." His father freezes. For the first time, he's afraid. Time moves on. Eric visits Pierre. Good news, Pierre is heading to Geneva to study. Eric? He's working at a law firm. Right now, just a delivery guy. But he has bigger dreams. He wants to become a lawyer. To fight injustice. To stand up for people who can't. They shake hands. 2 friends. 2 survivors. Both moving toward a better future. Lesson learned. If life keeps slapping you, slap back but with brains, not fists. And maybe, keep a lawyer's number in your pocket, just in case. Smash that like button, drop your craziest school story in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more revenge-packed recaps.